Hi everyone, I am the Tax Pro, and today we're going to talk about marking bills as paid within QuickBooks Online. So bills are items that are open that you owe to your vendors, and we need to go in and mark when we pay those. So when you create a bill, it's going to increase your accounts payable portion in your QuickBooks Online. We want to make sure that when we pay those bills, we're not recording them as an expense. Instead, we're actually marking them as paying the bills. I see this sometimes where somebody will receive a bill from a vendor and they'll say, okay, they'll go in and they'll enter it and they'll say, okay, we have this bill and let's say that we received a bill from Bluebird Technologies and we received it on the 12th of October. It's a cost of goods sold bill for $1,297.66 or something like that. And they'll save and close. And then when it comes time that they've paid that bill, so they sent somebody a check, instead of actually marking that bill as paid, they'll go in and they'll say, oh, okay, we wrote a check to Bluebird Technologies from our primary bank account. We wrote a check for this $1,297.66 for cost of goods sold. So we'll come in here and it was check, 11/24 or something like that. And they'll say we paid this on the 26th. And they'll save and close. What ends up happening if you've just double recorded that particular expense, right? So we have recorded that expense when we recorded the bill, and then we recorded it again when we wrote that check. So what we really want to do is we want to go in and we want to mark these bills as paid. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So there's a couple of different ways that you can go about this. The plus new button has this pay bills option right here. When you click on this, all of your bills that are open are going to pop up. Okay, so we have a couple from this Platinum Corporation and a couple from this Bluebird Technologies. Now, if you have a lot of open bills in your business, and I see this a lot with people who, maybe run 30 to 60 day terms with vendors and they order from them like regularly throughout the month, and they have a lot of vendors that they do that with. This may get a little bit overwhelming when you go to pay bills because it's going to show you all the bills that are open. And you don't want to see all the bills that are open because that's a lot, right? So you can use this plus new pay bills feature, but you may end up needing to filter a little bit more. So you can filter by the due date. You can filter by the payee, or you can filter by overdue status only. So let's say that I go in and on a weekly basis, I'm going to pay bills. And I want to know, what is going to be due this week that I need to filter. Well, I don't have any bills that are due this week. So let's look at maybe the next 2 weeks. I have one bill for Bluebird Technologies that I need to pay. So I can go in and in the next 2 weeks, this is what bills are coming due. This is why it's really important to put the appropriate due date on your bill because you can filter and use QuickBooks Online to help you time your bill payments appropriately so that you keep those good relationships with your vendors. So you select the payment date. If you're utilizing a check, so it thinks that maybe we have a check because we're using a bank account, you can also mark this as being paid from a credit card. So you select your payment date, and then you don't have to have a check number. And then you can do save and print, save and close, or save. I'm not going to save this because I want to show you how to pay multiple bills at once. So we can go out of there. Let's say that I have a vendor and I want to pay multiple bills. So let's say I want to pay all of Platinum Corporation's bills. I can go in and I can check these two bills. It's going to tell me the total amount that I have right here. I can erase this if I don't have a check number, and then I can go through and I can save and close that way. Another way that I like to go in and look to see what bills I have is through the expense tab. So you can go here, you have the expenses, you can go to bills, you can see all of your unpaid bills here. You can filter this from the bill date or by vendor. You can also go into each individual vendor and see what bills are open. So let's say that I want to go into Bluebird Technologies and look at all of these bills. This is a great way to see if you have duplicate transactions. So right here, I could say, oh, you know what? I went through and I accidentally recorded a check for an expense, but I already have a bill. So you can go in and delete that. I could delete that double payment, and then I could go in and say, you know what? I actually wrote a check for this. I think it was on the 26th from primary checking account. It was check 1124. I already paid this. You can save and close. And now what you'll see is there's a bill payment for this check number, like there should be. And here's the bill that I paid. So I'm not double recording that transaction. You can also mark multiple bills as paid at once. So let's say that I paid both of these bills with check 1125 on the 26th of October. I can also go ahead and pay a portion of the bills. Let's say that I wrote out a check for $8,000, and let's say right here, $987. Maybe I didn't quite pay all of this bill because there was something that I didn't agree with. There's something that I need to discuss with the vendor, or they billed me, they didn't provide me like a credit or something along those lines. I can say I'm only going to pay $7,013 on this bill, but I'm going to pay this bill in full from this $8,000. You can do that within this bill payment system. So you can save and close. And now you'll notice that it is going to show me I have $966 that I owe to Bluebird Technologies, which is part of this bill right here, but nothing is overdue, so nothing's past due yet. Now you'll notice that there's this schedule payment right here, and that I keep going to mark as paid. This schedule payment is through QuickBooks bill payment system. They have their own bill payment system that allows you to utilize their services to push a bill payment to a vendor. You don't have to use that. You can go in and just mark it as paid, okay? So that is how you do bill pay. So as a recap, you can navigate straight from this plus new button, and you can do pay bills. This is going to allow you to select what checking account you want, or what bank account or credit card you want to use for the payment. It's going to allow you to set a payment date and then to write a check number if you are utilizing checks. It allows you to see what bills are overdue, right? So you can filter by due date. You can also filter by due date here, or by payee if you only want to find one specific payee, because if you have a ton of bills open, this plus new pay bills screen can get a little bit overwhelming. The other way that you can navigate to see what bills you have open is in this expense tab. So you can go into bills and see what bills are unpaid. You can also go into vendors and look to see what bills are open here. And then you could look for each vendor, what they have going on. So that's how you mark bills as paid within QuickBooks Online. I will see you guys next time.